everyone, and welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today we're going to be making one of my absolute favorite fall soaps, and this is the one that I call Cranberry Orange Zinger. The fragrance oil that I'm using today is Spiced Cranberry by Nature's Garden Candles. This one does color your soap a little bit orangey. For me, that's not a problem because that's kind of how I wanted to color my soap anyway. But if you've never used it before and we're expecting like a color that didn't discolor at all, I just wanted to give you a heads up. So obviously the first thing we're going to do is pour our lye water solution into our oils here. Perfect, and then we're gonna blend this up until light trace, and then I'm going to split off the three colors. Now the three colors I'm using today are gonna end up being like a wine red color, this sort of golden orange pumpkin, and then a very bright orange. And then the base soap is going to be whatever orange the fragrance oil naturally discolors the soap to. In other words, I'm going to leave this big one uncovered, and that big one is actually the one that we're going to be pouring first. This is going to be a layered soap. So I'm going to add some of my organic fair trade poppy seeds into there. I'm gonna blend it up on low, and then I'm gonna add my fragrance oil, and we're gonna pour it into the molds. We will add the fragrance oil into these as they're ready to be poured. All right, I've added the fragrance oil, so I'm gonna mix it up now. All right, this has been mixed up, so let's pour it into the molds. My goal is, of course, to try and pour an even amount down on both sides, but if that doesn't happen, it's not that big a deal. This looks like lemon poppy seed cake batter. But it certainly doesn't smell that way. This is very, very much a fall scent. Definitely smells like both cranberries and oranges and spices. This is one of, again, my favorites. It smells absolutely divine. Now this is pretty liquidy, so I am going to let it set up quite a bit before I start pouring any of the other colors into here. I'm gonna scrape out my big bucket, and then the color we'll work with next, I think, is probably the red. So actually, I'm gonna start with this dark orange color. The first thing I'm going to do is mix it up with my spatula here, because there is a lot of color down at the bottom. The stick blender sometimes has a hard time kind of kicking up that color on the bottom part, so I'm just gonna try to incorporate it with this first, and then I'll stick blend it in really good. This is, again, like the perfect pumpkin-y color. It's a mix of Orange Vibrance Mica and Orange Oxide. If you're going for a perfect pumpkin orange, Orange Oxide is really the way to go. It's not going to give you that bright, like citrus orange color, but for those fall soaps, it's absolutely invaluable. Okay, so I'm gonna whir this up with the stick blender really quick. Just get everything good and incorporated. Then I'm gonna add my fragrance oil. Okay, now we're gonna pour this into the soap mold. So I'm gonna test this just to see how thick this bottom layer is. Do I need the spatula? Probably not, but I'm just gonna continue to use it anyway, just in case. This is such a beautiful, beautiful golden orange color. Okay, I'm gonna shake this down a little bit just to see which one's more full and which one needs a bit more. Okay, I think this one needs a little more over here. And this one doesn't need quite as much, but still a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrape out this container, and we'll move on to the next color, which is the wine red. Time for the wine red color. I get more and more excited about this soap the longer I go on. This is Red Vibrance Mica that is coloring this soap. And I remember the first time I got like the Vibrance collection from Nurture, which gosh, was such a long time ago, and I mixed up this red, I was really disappointed because I thought it was gonna be like a tomato rainbow red. Of course, it has come in so handy now, and now that they have the true red mica then, or the really red mica rather, then I have both of them and I can just use this for different stuff. It's still a wonderful, wonderful color, and it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'm going to blend in the fragrance oil, and then we're going to pour this into the molds. All right, so just the same as the orange beneath it, I'm just gonna start pouring it into the mold like this. Gosh, this is gonna be such a gorgeous layer. Pour it into this one as well. This just gave me an idea for a Valentine's Day soap. That's quite a ways away, but I think I might write it down just in case. All right, I've wiped down the sides of any little splashes that may have gotten up when I was pouring. I've scraped out my pitcher, and now it is time to mix up the final layer. Final layer is the orange. So again, just gonna scrape this up with my spatula. All right, now I'm gonna blend this up with a stick blender and we'll pour this in as the final layer. So one more time with the spatula. I'm just gonna fill this up until it's completely full in the mold here. And this side as well, all the way down, just pulling the bulk majority. Okay. This one needs a little more. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape this out. Scrapey, scrapey. Okay, so now I'm gonna gently just kind of bounce this, make sure everything is evenly distributed. All right, now I'm gonna go get the piping ready and we'll start putting the top on. For the piping today, I'm using the Royalty Soaps piping tip and the Atico 172 tip. I will leave a link to that down in the description box below. My piping, as you can see, I have colored with the red Vibrance Mica, so it still has that kind of wine red color. But I added some titanium dioxide, so it's not as potent. I am piping, I guess, just a little more watery than usual. If I'm really trying to get some volume with my soaps, that's what I tend to do. This soap is a little different than all the others in that I have to put the piping on, and then the next thing that I do immediately after is cover it with mica, the whole thing, covered in gold mica before I put the embeds on. It's one of the easiest and most pretty effects, in my opinion, that you can do to a cold process soap. It actually looks really nice on soaps that don't have any soap frosting on them. I'm so excited for fall. I feel like I'm gonna be waiting a really long time though, because fall in Texas comes about mid-November. Okay, so I'm sorry that had to be like a fast motion video, but I'm gonna freely admit to you guys that I'm really tired. And whenever I'm really tired, sometimes I have a really hard time thinking about what to say. So now I'm gonna take a mixture of Aztec Gold Mica and Shimmer Gold Mica, and I'm just going to put this all across the top of the soap. So now that we've put the mica on, I'm also going to take just a little bit of gold glitter and sprinkle that across the top. This glitter is from Nurture Soap Supplies. This also comes in the Royalty Soaps piping set. Now it's time to put the embeds in. So I have some little cranberry looking embeds here. This is colored with the wine red colorant. So here are my embeds. I have some little cranberries here and some little orange slices here. And I'm going to go down the soap, alternating which side I put them on. And then I have one more that I might put in. It is anise seed. I think anise is how you say that. It looks like a little star. It's often seen in potpourri around the holiday season time. I think that'll be a nice addition if I have room for it. So let me go ahead and stick all those embeds in, and then we'll come back and see if I have room for the little stars. Okay, so there was enough room to put the little star anise seed on top. So this is what the finished bars look like. If you can hear the little hiccups in the background, that's my baby. Caleb brought her in here to see me. So I'm gonna let these sit for 24 to 48 hours before we cut them all up. Oh my gosh, I just love them so much. I think that little star on top really completes the look here. Here's what it looks like up top a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna let them sit. I'll be back. Okay, we are back the next day to cut this soap. It is really hard. It got really hard in the mold. The fragrance did a good job of setting up. So I'm using my bud cutter because, again, I sort of had a hard time keeping all the embeds where they're supposed to go. So that's what the inside of the soap looks like. You can see that orange came out really strong on top. We've got the layer that kind of looks like cider or honey, and then you have the wine red here and the poppy seeds down below. And this color down here, remember, is the color that it naturally discolors to whenever you use that fragrance oil. That is only colored with the fragrance oil, so keep that in mind. If you're gonna be using it, it will probably be a touch more difficult for you to get any sort of white using this color. The fragrance is super duper strong. And I'm really enjoying the little seed pod on top. That's an addition that I'm really glad I decided to put in there. I had to do a lot of mixing to get the right titanium dioxide and red vibrance mica sort of mix there, but I'm happy with the end result. So like I said before, I will be leaving the links to these little seed pods where I purchased them down below. Also, the mold to make these little soap gum balls. I can't leave you the one for these oranges because I actually made that mold myself using mold making material, but I will try to find a similar one for you guys.
I have a question.
He has a question. What is your question?
Would you rather have a completely automated home or a self-driving car?
Oh, ooh. So tell me, what is completely automated home? Give me some examples of what that looks like.
I would think that it would be like, did you ever see that Disney movie that was like The House Mom or whatever it was called?
No.
Okay.
Did they have like a completely automated home?
It was completely automated to the point where the computer that ran the house would cook meals and stuff.
Really?
So I think that's what they mean.
So it's like having a built-in maid, sorta?
I think that's what they mean.
Does it open the door for you?
Probably.
Well, man, well, you know, I kind of like the feeling of driving. And I'm a pretty good driver. I haven't had any accidents or anything, so I think I'll keep the car the way it is and take the fully automated home my own self. How about you?
I don't drive too much anymore since I work with you, but if I did, I'd probably take the car. I do like
because he's not very good at driving.
No, I just hate it. It's just the worst.
He's also not very good at it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, having your meals prepared for you, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to vote in the question of today, you can click the I in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I wonder, this is another one that I really wonder how people are going to feel about it, because I know a lot of people that don't like to drive. So yeah, let us know up there. Thank you so very much for watching this soap making video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more videos like it, you can give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, maybe even leave me a comment down below. And I will see you guys soon in the next autumnal soap video. So until then, you have an absolutely royal day, and bye for now.